One of the most striking images in the art has been the head of a Medusa, a paint that turned animal how located in the ages to stone. And Greek and Roman art representation in figure did not stand out. However, did Gorgon become an exception because her power was intact strings in the ages that Kayet, indicating that the lock of hair in the words of all had a power to project. His was also reorganized of the high composite, aggressive snake always in the art attitude.
Legend has it that Medusa was a mortal woman, beautiful and tempting as the sweetest of saints. Such was his beauty, and that Poseidon, god of the sea, was smitten with her and did not rest until he was able to satisfy his desire against the girl will in the temple of Athena. Athena, goddess of purity and justice, among other things, is terribly offended and punishes Medusa because she symbolizes everything contrary to her desire, carnality, and voluptuousness. The young woman's hair becomes hissing snakes, her eyes of such intensity that if you stare into them, you turn to stone. Medusa has transformed into a monster, but she still asserted herself by her provocative and sensual gait that mesmerized almost as much as her gaze.
Her beauty was so great that she dazzled Poseidon, who fell in love with her and seduced her. In some versions, it is said that she was wrapped in the temple of Athena.
Your beauty will belong to me.
This caused the rivalry between Athena and Poseidon to grow. Athena's hunger was so great that her immediate reaction was to push Medusa, turning her into begging equal to her sister Steno and Euryale.
I will punish you for your lack of respect to me and my temple,
said Athena. But we're monsters with metallic hands, sharp face, and eyes emitted light, and whoever looked directed at them was petrified. Athena was jealous of Medusa's beauty hair, so she turned her hair into a snake and banished her to live in the Hyperborean lands.
In one version of the myth, narrated by the Roman poet Ovid, Medusa was originally a beautiful maid and priestess of Athena's temple, but when she was raped by Poseidon, Athena was enraged and turned her beautiful hair into a snake and made her face so terrible, and the mere scene of the intruder meant to a stone. In this account, Versailles describes Athena's punishment of Medusa and whose and deserved. Thus Medusa represents loss.
Perseus, on his mission, had to wear winged sandals provided by Hermes. This additional protection protected him from Medusa's gaze, as well as very bright shell, so that if she came to look at him, he could repel the attack of their lethal light from her eyes. He had no need to use it, as he waited for Medusa to fall asleep in her lair. Perseus, playing with his sandals, managed to positioned himself above Medusa, cutting off her head in a single act. With this cut through the mirror of Medusa's neck came out her son Pegasus and gigant Chrysos. Medusa's head went to Athena, who used it as shield in all her battles, as Perseus did before to rescue Andromeda and kill Polydectes. The bloodshed in the decapitation of Medusa was jealousy watered for purpose known only for the gods, since the blood for her left vein represent a deadly poison, and the blood for her right side had healing properties that were even used to resurrect the dead.
The myth of Medusa and Perseus is for many a metaphor of fear and how it's possible to save oneself from in through art. For others, it represents a famine in which the outraged woman becomes sometimes monsters. A dangerous animal that terrifies and stupefies enjoy who contemplates it. There are several versions of the myth of Medusa and Perseus. However, the most classical one tells us that both had a tragic origin. Medusa was one of the third Gorgons or daughters of Phorcys and Set. Of the three, Medusa was the most beautiful and also the only mortal. So great was her beauty that she aroused admiration among gods and men. In conclusion, Greek mythology is very interesting in all its aspects and in explaining very everyday events. Thank you for listening to our podcast.